You are now listening to About That Business, hosted by Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an entrepreneur and personal coach who has helped people reach their fullest potential personally and professionally. Take it away, Rom.
Thank you, Marshall. Everybody can eat. Now, anybody who's, we always have some beefs on YouTube and all of that, right? And usually if I do a response to it, I don't go in on anybody, take sides. I'm like Switzerland in most cases. I slip every now and then. But, one of the things I'll always say is everybody can eat. Everybody can make money. Now, when I say everybody can eat, that's really a big part of being in business. The thing is, there's room enough for everybody. There's room enough for everybody. A group of people can eat because one person is eating. Cooperation is very important. For example, right? Even in this day and age of ebooks and all of that, you still need a support system for business. Now, say, okay, my publishing company, right? I got quite a few books out. Now, what if I say I'm going to expand that to, publishing other people's books? And that's not something, and I've actually done that before, right? So, but say I'm actively going to do that. It actually creates opportunity for other businesses. Definitely the printing companies, distribution companies, marketing companies. Everybody can eat. And even in a situation where there are other publishing companies, right? Instead of people thinking, well, I'm competing against that company, you come together and you create a cartel. You create a group of companies who, agree on the same price or, a standard prices rather, collaborate on distribution, cooperate on distribution, marketing, and all of that. Everybody eats. That's one thing. There's no business. I don't care what business you're in. You're not a individual. Even if it's just a business where you providing individualized services to somebody, you still need those customers. But then you can actually get further if you providing services and you join with other people providing services, then you can expand your product. You can expand your reach. You can really cooperate. Now I know there's, some competition, there's always some competition, but there's room enough. I'm gonna tell you what, virtually with every single business out there, there's room for growth. Every single one. I'll give you an example. That's why you see so many cell phone businesses or, smartphone businesses or you go into a mall or something, you'll see 3 or 4 kiosks with just selling covers for smartphones. It hasn't reached a saturation point yet. Even smartphones haven't really reached a saturation point yet. There's still a lot of people using prepaid. I mean, less than a year ago, I was just using a prepaid. So there's room for growth. And instead of two people just being, and just thinking, oh, I can just do this by myself. If they join with other people, they can even make more money. And then even if you're in a particular area, right? Like using the publishing example again. You have one person publishing, that's the publishing company. But then you bringing in the other groups. Everybody can eat. And that's even in other areas too, event planning, because that's an area I really want to look into, because I know a lot of particularly for getting men and women together. That's an area I think that's a big area, because I think a lot of people are really getting tired of the online thing. Online dating. People still want to meet people. And maybe some events where people can actually do that, I think that would be hype. But even then, it's wait a minute, okay. I got the idea for the spot, right? Well, I got the idea, okay. Have the event, say a singles party or something. And then it's all right. You got the singles party, but you need a space for it. Find somebody with a decent sized space. All right, boom. So that's 2 things, right? And then you need catering. Boom, 3 things. And then somebody to market it and make sure you actually get people in there. And then it's like music. Boom. Every single endeavor, you can bring in more people. Actually, one idea, just a single idea, just creating a singles event actually empowers a lot of people economically and plus does something good. You know, people have to think, when you really look at groups, any social group, racial group, ethnic group who empower themselves economically, it's because they all work together. You know, they work together, they collaborate. You know, in this country, you have a lot of immigrants who would come in and, you know, they'll jump into certain areas like maybe gas stations, convenience stores, stuff like that. They'll work together. Like a great example is the Koreans. I mean, they got a lot of synergy. Even grocery stores, everything where they just building together. Everything, you know, you got to really build as a community. I mean, you know what? Like Rom can make a little bit of money here, but, you know, doing what I do. But to really take it to a new level, I have to work with other people. You know, if I eat, they need to eat too. You know, people who thinking they just on some individualistic thing, because that's the irony of at least American culture. There's that myth of the individual just building up something, you know, by their bootstraps. I did it myself. No, you didn't. You had help. Everybody had help, even if it was just cooperating and working with other businesses and everything. Everybody, if you want to build, ultimately you need to join with other people to really expand it. Now you can get something. Now you can stay on some individual stuff. You can stay on some individual stuff. Wait a minute. Man, Shabba. I'm sorry, I had to break into something. This is my song, The Lover Man Shabba. Yeah, got that playing in the background. Oh, then shoot, that's even in music and stuff. You know, you get some artists up here, it's like, oh, I'm great, but how many people were behind them? How many people like sound people, backup people, songwriters, everything, marketing, boom. Shoot. In fact, all businesses are marketing, really, so. But I think, well, in business, when you're doing in business, I think people just have that attitude that everybody can eat, and then you actually expand what you do. You know? So anyway, right? I don't have too much for that. But just know, everybody can eat. Yeah, this is my song. So anyway, let's go make that money.